Okay, we are back, and we have a round table to discuss Spider-Man No Way Home. On my left, we have Jamal, the mac and cheese connoisseur. On my right, we have Ali, who's got Lucille ready and willing to bat away those reviews.
Not Lucille.
And we have my cousin Nana, aka Ed, aka host of the Lockdown Yard, baby.
We back.
We are back. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thanks for having us. Hello.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having us.
I literally said just before we start recording, we had to get all our guests from multiple universes
Yes.
to come on the pod to talk about this big, huge film.
So I take it all spoilers are fair game on this.
Yep. We were literally going to say, big warning. Before we continue any further, this is a massive spoiler warning. All right?
Yeah, I've been warned.
Full spoiler warning. We're going to be talking heavy. All right. We'll do a little bit of a warm up. If this is your first episode here, we discuss like TV and movies, and we bring on guests, and we're going to give a bit of background about some of them here. Ali, you want to give a bit of background about yourself?
Oh, I don't need an introduction by this point.
No, everyone knows who she is.
Where have y'all been?
You sleeping on Ali?
Yeah, we could just skip that.
Yeah. And Jamal?
Well, if you need to hear me, like if you want to know where I'm from in the Lockdown Yard, just listen to all the Pirates of the Caribbean episodes. I am there.
All right, how are we gonna start this, guys? Let's talk about the movie experiences. The first time we watched it. Who wants to go first?
Have we said we all know what we're going to talk about, but have we actually said what we're here to discuss today? It's a very momentous occasion, I feel.
Yeah, I can reintroduce it.
Oh, did she say it already?
I did. I can do it again.
Spider-Man No Way Home, released in 2021, starring Tom Holland, Zendaya, and everyone else.
Benedict Cumberbatch is in it too.
The biggest movie of the year at the end of the year. What a way to bookend it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Out of all the MCU films, this is the biggest event of the year, because we've had what? We've had Eternals, we've had Shang-Chi, we've had Black Widow, which actually feels like it was released last year. That's how long of a year it's been.
And then so many TV shows. The
MCU TV verse kicked off this year with WandaVision. That was way back in what? January, was it?
Yeah, around then.
Really? Wow.
Damn, this year has flown, actually.
It
I said
has
this
been,
has been a
yeah.
long year, but it's actually flown.
Yeah, definitely.
So what a way to wrap up the MCU year with the spectacle that is Spider-Man No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
So have all of you seen it just once, or has anyone gone and seen it twice yet?
I saw it just before we met up on this podcast. So yeah, that was my third time. That was my third time watching it. Like today.
That was your third time.
Right. I literally thought that was going to be your first time. So you literally have the freshest viewing experience from watching it. Okay.
Freshest viewing experience, but I was able to take more in because it's not my first viewing experience.
Yeah. I've seen it two times. I'm not on Jamal's level like that yet.
I've seen it just the once, but I do want to see it a few more times for sure. Because as you said, there's a lot more detail you pick up the second time when the shock factor's been removed,
Yeah,
and you can actually focus on a lot more of the detail. So yeah, I'm going to see it a second time, and also for the crowd reactions.
Yeah,
the crowd reactions, which we'll get to later in the pod. But
so when did you first watch it?
Oh, release day 10 a.m.
in the morning.
Had to be done, man.
Where did you watch it?
Oh, this was at Greenwich Odeon.
Oh, IMAX, yeah.
Yeah, so it was quite a full cinema. For a 10 a.m. viewing, it was a really packed cinema. So I can just tell how packed the primetime viewings were. The 7 p.m.s on your Saturday nights or Sunday nights and whatnot. Those must have been absolutely rammed.
Yeah, because the first day we went was 11 p.m. at Leicester Square, and it was a full house.
Full house.
Like, to the point, like, we got to the cinema Charles was already in there, but me and my other friend, we got to the cinema, and the line was going like further than I've ever seen the line to the cinema go. It was like,
Jamal, we have to paint the picture properly. You know how seriously we were taking. No spoilers. I was wearing my noise cancelling headphones. These men were playing. These guys were wearing headphones too. They saw me. I saw them. We knew. We didn't take our headphones off until we sat down.
My goodness.
That is genius.
Noise cancelling headphones. What, to avoid? I just realised what you meant.
Yeah, to avoid spoilers. You know, it's like,
you don't want the people who are just coming out and watching it to like ruin it for
you. You know what it's
that
like.
Is the big risk. This is why I always go to the first viewing, because before you know it, you'll be walking in midday when there've been about 2 or 3 viewings, and there'll be some kids shouting, "I can't believe they killed Aunt May!" Oh my god!
Oh my gosh! Oh gosh!
Can you imagine?
Oh my lord!
That would actually ruin my day.
And then because of that, when you come out of the screening, it's so tempting to just talk to the person next to you about everything that happens, but you don't want to be that person. So you're like speaking in code about what's just gone down.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You're a good person. There are some people out here. The Joker said it himself. No, Alfred said it himself. Some people just want to see this world burn.
Yeah, that's fully TikTok right now, because the day after I saw it, I swear the whole movie was on TikTok.
Yep. And Twitter.
YouTube, we had people with the shaky handheld cams releasing 10-second clips of, you know, seeing all the Spider-Man stand together.
I'm not gonna lie, YouTube almost got me, because I thought it was a genuine, real spoiler, but I think someone just faked it, but it seemed real. So, like, I thought I got ruined. Then I watched the movie. I'm like, that didn't happen.
Spoiler culture is a big problem, man. It is a huge problem.
The only reason I like those kind of footages is because I get the crowd reactions from different places. That to me just hypes me up. That's the only reason I like.
That's cool, but like afterwards, isn't it?
Oh yeah, afterwards, 100% afterwards.
Because like going back and watching like the end game where people are reacting to like Cap getting Mjolnir, or
Exactly,
like Avengers Assemble,
or
Iron Man. It's just like,
Precisely.
Well, I did pretty well because I didn't see No Way Home until Saturday, and somehow I just didn't go on any social media and just completely kept my head down. And obviously I knew that certain things were going to be in it because I think they kind of hinted pretty heavily.
Yeah.
But then to be fair, and actually when we get into the criticism of the film, I'd be interested to hear from you all. Was there anything where you were actually like, wow, I didn't see that coming?
Yeah, there was a couple things, because I think I stayed away from spoilers well enough to be like, I didn't see that coming, and I was very excited when I saw it. There's definitely one moment of it.
I think we should start. Can I just take a guess and say everyone here liked the film more than they didn't like it? As in, you had way more good points than criticisms.
Yes.
Yes, I can say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is going to be good.
I'd say a good starting point would be to start with the criticisms, get that out of the way, and then we can gush about the film.
I like that.
Okay, I like that. You're eager, Ellie. You want to do this?
I'll go first. I really enjoyed the film. I'll confess that there was a brief segment where I genuinely fell asleep, which I never do.
Were you tired?
So I was very tired, so that's...
Okay.
To be fair, we've done that in the past too. We've all fallen asleep in the film this year.
You guys in Dune.
Yeah, us in Dune.
Oh man, yeah, that was me and Charles.
100%.
That was also me and Venom.
Oh no!
Oh, you fell asleep in Venom?
Yo.
I swear, like, I saw the middle and the end of that movie.
You missed out.
I was actually sitting next to him. I was just snoring. I was like, nah, let him sleep.
Oh no!
Venom was so good though.
I didn't see all of Venom until like Friday.
Damn.
Oh man. Well, so for me, it was the scene just before Aunt May, R.I.P., leaves this mortal coil. But the scene when they're all in the room, like all the villains, I don't know, I just found that boring. And to be honest, for me, the best scenes were when it was the other Spider-Man, and it was Zendaya, and it was Ned, and it was basically everyone but Tom Holland. And when it was relying on Tom Holland, I was a bit like, yawn. That's my criticism. And then the other bone that I'll really pick is jumping right to the end when they cast the spell and he's like, oh my god, they're not going to remember me, blah, blah, blah. I was like, why didn't you just wait there? Just stay there until the...
Yeah. I think I know exactly what point you're talking about.
Why just like bounce off into the sunset?
Yeah,
and you can just wait.
Yeah. You can just reintroduce yourself right then and there.
The only thing I'd say in defense of that slightly, and this was reiterated in a following scene where he saw MJ's scar on their head covered by plaster. It's the whole thing about him not wanting to put them in danger again, because being associated with Spider-Man, knowing who he is, just automatically comes with some sort of danger, and that's the only justification. I mean, it's a bit of a reach. That's just my view on it, but it's not as big a gripe. I don't have as much of a gripe with that as most people do, to be honest.
I mean, I have different gripes. You haven't illustrated any of mine, but so far, yeah.
I have a big issue. I just think Doctor Strange was so out of character in this film. In that, what? Really? You're not going to convince me Doctor Strange loses a fight to anyone in the mirror dimension. No, I'm not having that. Sorry.
The man knows geometry, bro.
Yeah, math.
Doctor Strange knows geometry. Have you seen how well educated he is?
Yeah, and he lost to a 17-year-old.
That's so true. He's like a surgeon at the top of his field, and he was outsmarted by a
He knows maths too,
I mean, like, I've seen Doctor Strange take a lot of L's since we've been introduced to him. Like, he took an infinite amount of L's to Dormammu until, like, Dormammu literally just got bored of killing him. he took an L to Thanos.
That was in his first few days as Doctor Strange, though. Now he's quite literally the Sorcerer Supreme without the title.
Nah. Oh, no,
yeah. He's stronger now than we've ever seen him, and he's just lost to a kid.
Bro, kids were coming up in this film. There's one gripe I have, and it's so annoying, but it gave us everything we want. How did Ned manage to do that thing with the ring when he got sent to Everest? No, Doctor Strange got sent to Everest and was nearly frozen by the time he managed to do it. This guy lives in Queens.
Yeah, but his family get the twinge in it.
I will overlook this one point because it gave us what I wanted.
His grandma's like, magic's in their family. Maybe it was just instincts, isn't it?
And apparently 100%. That's in the comics. Like, I don't know much about it, but I think we're going to see big things from Ned.
I hope so, but I need an explanation.
He's been set up to be a villain, like, in the future movie.
Oh no! They kind of hinted to that, didn't they? When they were talking about the previous Harry Osborns and how they turned against their Peters. And,
that scene.
Did you notice in that scene when Andrew was just like listening? He was kind of thinking about Harry, Yeah. That's why he didn't say anything at all.
It's true,
Because I feel like, based on little hints, he might have killed Harry.
Bro, he might have.
Because when he says, I got
rageful.
Yeah, rageful and like more brutal. So I feel like
I stopped pulling my punches.
Yeah, that's it. He stopped pulling his punches. I feel like maybe he killed Harry for what he did to Gwen.
He could have. Do you know how much I'm interested in seeing an alternate? Like, I want to see more of Andrew Garfield. That's another point I want to get into. But that's like a reach. I know I'm not going to get it, but I do want to see more Andrew Garfield.
Well,
I guess that's in the positives. But I do have I have a negative too, and it's with Lizard and Sandman.
Okay. They were more backbencher villains, weren't they? They were just like, they weren't as prominent as Doctor Ock.
For both of them, their actors aged so badly that they were like, we're just gonna keep you in CGI and like reuse footage from the old movies, but it's still like very noticeable.
It's very noticeable in certain scenes.
So I'm like, because when I saw Sandman, he's like not turning back. I was like to Shaq in the movie. I was like, could they not afford the actor? And then I found that like he completely voiced it. It was just like, apparently it would have been cheaper to like just keep him as Sandman than to de-age him.
Wow.
Damn.
It took me a minute to remember who the Lizard was. Who's this green guy?
Reese Evans or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, they could have like, I don't know, de-aged him for the scene so they didn't have to use the same footage like that.
I hear you. Going to Charles's, I feel like I'm defending the negatives here, but going to Charles's point on the whole Ned thing, I agree. I hated that. They tried to do the whole plot filler thing. They tried to allude to it all film, saying he's gonna do it. He said, I've got magic in my family. Blah blah blah. They tried to allude to the fact that he can do this.
Yeah, and he calls the spark at the beginning when he first got it.
Yeah.
But I did love what it led to with probably one of the biggest cheers I've heard in the cinema for ages.
God,
it's the biggest cheer I've heard in the cinema since Captain America caught Mjolnir.
Bro, I feel like ours was like it was way like there was nothing like it, and it didn't stop.
It did not stop, and it was an event. It wasn't a film. It was an event at that point. Everyone was going off. No one heard anything of what they were saying on the screen.
People were losing their minds, and then he's like, let me try until we find our Peter. And then Tomei was just like, oh my god. Our cinema was just losing their minds.
Honestly.
It's true. They were as soon as they said that line, let's keep going until we find our Peter.
Yep.
Then everyone just knew what time it was. And there was constant noise for sure.
For sure.
But yeah, another moment that got the chair, which I genuinely was not expecting, was when Matt Murdock appeared, and I genuinely had no idea he would be in the movie because I saw like Charlie Cox like begging to still be Daredevil, so I'm like, he ain't Daredevil no more. Then he was in the movie.
By the way, I did love that moment when he caught the brick. I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Just give us a glimpse of your Daredevil abilities. Okay.
I like it because it was the bars. He was like, to Happy, you're going to need a good lawyer. Then the brick comes through. And then Peter's like, because you see Peter, he's ready to catch the brick as well. And he's like, how did you do that? I'm a good lawyer. Just bars.
A really good lawyer. Yeah.
Oh, I've missed that guy.
So yeah, I'm so happy he's back, man. I was not expecting it, but yeah, this week for Daredevil characters has been awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes.
I mean, that's another. Well, we're deep into more spoilers for Hawkeye.
Oh wait! I don't know because I haven't been watching Hawkeye. Let me take off my headphones.
Sorry, I won't say it, but
no, say it. I'll just take them off. Yeah,
because you gotta edit the episode. I'm sorry.
All right, I'll take the L. I'll take the L for this review.
It's calm. We'll spare you.
So yeah, just watch Hawkeye.
If it's to do with Kingpin, I know already.
Oh, then yeah, that was it.
There's nothing more to say.
That was a trick. That was a trick. I only guessed that. Oh my gosh, Kingpin's back too?
Oh, come on. That's not fair.
Yeah, why would you say that?
Now you get my live reaction. Oh my gosh, my chest. We're getting Daredevil and Kingpin. I have to watch Hawkeye.
You have to watch Hawkeye.
Oh, Merry Christmas, everyone.
So you all didn't expect that the 3 Peter Parkers were, because I thought that they'd kind of like teased it enough. Like I was like, oh damn, I wish I didn't know that. But I've watched a lot of Andrew Garfield interviews on YouTube in my spare time, and everyone was asking it, being like, oh, so you're going to be in the new movie, right? And this is before it even came out, so I was like, I guess they kind of want us to know that going into it. But it would have been such a cool moment not to expect it.
Because, like, I guess going in, once the trailer showed the villains for the other movies, it was just like, you have to be in it.
It makes sense. But the way they were harassing Andrew Garfield, I feel like I saw that in the news, like they're actually harassing him, the paparazzi, over No Way Home.
Yeah.
Damn, just leave the guy alone. It's a film. I mean, it's going to be a good film regardless, even if he's in it or not.
Because, like, I guess generally, like, going into it, I didn't want him to be in the trailers. I didn't want it to be ruined because it would have ruined that moment, and that moment was amazing.
Yeah, true.
So it would have been ruined if anyone said anything. But yeah, I feel like even though you knew going in, like, they got to be in there, like, you didn't know. So then when you found out, it was like, yeah.
Nah, as soon as I saw Charlie Cox, I was like, those pictures were real. So they're in the film.
Oh, I didn't see the pictures in it.
Oh, yeah, I saw them.
We saw those pictures early, man. It's like when Spider-Man showed up in the Civil War trailer. It would have been like that if they released any footage or any pictures officially with all three Spider-Men in this one, for sure.
It was still an amazing moment, though. I mean, for me, the positives of this film is it delivered on my all-time wish to see Andrew Garfield back as Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I do have a gripe. I have another gripe.
Oh, one more gripe. Okay, let's go. Let's get it all out, people.
So all the characters knew who Spider-Man was, and that's the reason they got brought back.
Yep.
Up into this universe. But Electro had no idea who Spider-Man was.
Yeah, that's another thing.
Oh yeah.
I can ignore it, but like that's definitely a plot hole.
But also, because when Tobey Maguire shows up and he turns to MJ and Ned and he's like, "Oh, hey guys, yeah, I've been looking out for Peter in this universe," and I was like, "But why? You know, were we supposed to know that? Like what?"
True.
I feel like it's a Spider-Verse thing because I feel like he was like, I just sensed he needed me.
Spidey senses.
Yeah, it's like, you know, in Spider-Verse where like they meet each other and their spider sense kind of goes off, and then like in that one where like Gwen is like, "Oh, my spider sense told me I needed to go to this school." I feel like it's just stuff like that where it's just like, I don't know.
That makes sense. I'm sold on the Spidey senses as a good explanation.
So yeah, he's just like, I felt like he needed me, so I've been looking for him. I'm like, I believe that. Just based on the other, I guess, multiverse Spider-Man movie we've gotten.
I have an alternate theory. It's because they're family.
It could also be just J. Jonah Jameson's everywhere on the news, so they're like, "Yo, there's a Peter Parker out here who needs our help because like J. Jonah Jameson is on his neck."
Mate, J. Jonah Jameson is such a hater. My goodness, it fuels him. It gives him life.
Oh, I have one more gripe.
Let's keep him coming.
They should have dropped Miles Morales in this film. They hinted at it. They teased it. They should have like just shown the back of him or something. Yeah. This was their chance.
I wouldn't have minded if they showed him like in a TV shop on the screen, just as they walk past or something.
Yeah,
you know, just a hint. But
you see like Donald Glover walking with like a little boy.
Yeah,
the little boy.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, near the battle even. Actually, no, that couldn't be near the battle because the Statue of Liberty, but like somewhere around it. Yeah,
like you'd know it's Donald Glover and he's walking with a little kid, and it's just like they don't confirm it's Miles, but like you know.
To be honest, I've got more gripes, but I feel like we're just gonna sound like we hate the film. So let's go.
I feel like keep going because I'm like I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued.
Man, now we'll get into the positives. I think Ali was mentioning, you know, you're a big fan of Andrew Garfield, which seems to be the most popular Spider-Man actually. So
really, do you think so? That's interesting to know.
People argue differently, you know. They say Toby for nostalgia's sake.
Yeah, because I think Charles asked me the other day, and I'm like, right now it's Tom Holland. Like before going into No Way Home, it's Tom Holland, and I feel like afterwards, I feel like that cemented it for me.
I'll say I liked Andrew. I liked Andrew Garfield's portrayal, but I didn't like his movies. But
that second one, man.
That second one. But this kind of recontextualizes that as well, though.
Yeah, I feel like he got that redemption he needed. But the movie's still bad, but like at least he got the redemption.
Yeah. Who got the bigger redemption, Andrew Garfield or Jamie Foxx's hairline?
Okay, so we're talking about the hairline, yeah? Okay, cool.
It has to be done, man. Dr. Connors even mentioned it. Dr. Connors was speaking like the fans. He's like, last time I saw you, you had a bad haircut and bad teeth or something.
It's like... Yo, I don't know what happened. I don't know what in the multiverse happened, but thank God for it. I could not have done that again.
And Jamie Foxx was acting completely differently as well to his character in
completely differently.
Yeah.
In my screening, the two biggest cheers seem to have been quite different from yours. In that the biggest cheer first off was when Jamie Foxx was without a shirt on. That got a big whoop.
It's gonna act like I'm out here butt ass naked.
And then the second was when Andrew Garfield caught MJ.
Oh my God.
So like our audience didn't stop because I feel like we had a loud cheer for just when the black screen where it just says the title of the movie, yeah, and nothing started yet. People were going off then.
Every 5
Nah,
seconds.
your crowd is lit. I'm watching it with you guys next time, man.
Like legit, yeah, it didn't stop from there. Like people were hyped the whole film.
It's true.
There wasn't. You couldn't say there was this moment, this moment. It was the whole film.
That's
amazing. I need to come to your screenings.
Every single line that Andrew and Toby spoke, everyone was like, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like cheering, clapping, like Aunt May, great power, great responsibility, clapping, cheering, like even though she died, it was like, yo, like everything was going off.
There's one bit which really broke my heart in my screening, and that was when nobody, except my friend who I went to watch it with, we're the only ones who reacted to this. Nobody reacted to the line, "I'm something of a scientist myself."
Oh, no
Nobody.
way.
Uncultured swines.
Yeah, because even like the Toby line where he first meets Doc Ock in Spider-Man 2 and he repeats it in this where he's like, yeah, I'm just trying to do better. People cheered for that too. It's like everyone was on it. Like,
It was full of the fans who loved the
franchise. It was just like everyone was on it on our viewing. It was just like every little thing. So like every viewing afterwards has never been like that for me. So it's always been like, no, that first experience was special, man.
Fully, man. Who are you guys' favorite performances in this film?
For me, I really like Tom Holland's performance in terms of like, especially when Aunt May died, like, and the scene afterwards where JJ is just going off on him, and like just the emotion on his face, and then obviously I really liked the three Peters interacting just like for the first time, and it's just like see the seriousness of that situation, but for it to all come together with the great power comes great responsibility, and that was Uncle Ben, and I really enjoyed them. And I think the standout for me overall was William Dafoe. Like he brought a different energy to Green Goblin. It was his original Spider-Man performance on crack. Like it was so good.
Norman's not here anymore. Norman's on sabbatical, honey.
Yeah. He was just so like it made you remember how much of a threat Green Goblin is, and it's just like if this was just a Green Goblin movie, I think like he'd probably rank higher as a villain. But as an overall, I think as a villains in terms of the threat, I think the other ones kind of bring him down. If that makes sense, because I don't feel like anyone else was a threat apart from Green Goblin. Like once Doc Ock got his mind controlled, or once they fixed the inhibitor on him, he was cool. And then everyone else didn't really feel like. I feel like everyone sort of had them handled anyway.
That's why I found that scene boring and fell asleep, I felt, because it was really fun up to that point. Like when Doc Ock was on the bridge, and I was like, oh, and then suddenly they were all just like regular dudes hanging out.
Quipping.
Yeah, when they all went into that apartment, I was like, man, what's going on here?
Oh, wow.
These are literal supervillains in their own rights.
In a condominium.
Literally. Man, the bit where you sense Willem Dafoe change, when I think you'll be just you again, and he said, just me. And that's when you just knew he switched it up, man. I agree with Jamal, he was my favorite performance. I did like Tom Holland's performance a lot more. It showed some new dimensions to him rather than the quippy youngster we saw in the previous two films.
Yeah, it felt like he grew up.
Yeah, in this movie. That's it. That is it. That scene where he was standing in the rain in front of that big Don Jameson billboards, that was iconic.
Yeah, now like that visual is a wallpaper right there. Like I need that.
I was actually thinking that in my head. I really enjoyed Zendaya's really good in this one.
Yeah,
probably my favorite performance of hers out of all the films in this trilogy. So
big time.
Yeah, this gave her the most to do, and she was like in Homecoming. She was kind of just there, and she had a bigger role in Far From Home. But yeah, definitely this gave her the most.
Yeah,
and she definitely like brought it. Even Ned brought it too, but I think her more so.
I feel like Ned was just the same as he was in the other films, to be honest.
Which is just consistently great, to be
Yeah,
honest.
like
Man like Ned.
That scene where he just snitched on himself. Oh, M didn't know before me. I basically helped him hack the safe. Oh, so in everything, you're his accomplice. I like to have my records original. Whatever I know he said. You know.
yeah, it was like I like this stricken from the records.
But they definitely did so much more to develop the.
Mhm.
I mean, I thought the second one, Far From Home, was just so terrible.
Thank you.
So you're a Far From Home hater as well.
Bro, I'm gonna throw caution to the wind. I wouldn't like Tom Holland before. I didn't really like him much compared to like how I like him now. I like him more as Spider-Man now, but before I was not on Tom Holland's side. I preferred other Spider-Mans, to be honest.
I feel like I was with you until like I rewatched everything recently, and I'm like, that's what sold me on him. Where I'm like, I don't like the movie, but I like his performance.
That's it.
Like he plays an ignorant kid very well, and I feel like
it does.
Yeah, that it just works for me. I get it. And then like in terms of like Mysterio playing on like him learning to trust his spider sense in that movie and learning like to overcome like certain fears and just trust himself, I thought like that was really powerful at the end. But yeah, in terms of getting to that point at the end of that last film where it's like you made a lot of stupid choices, which I wish you didn't, but like I still like you.
Yeah, that I had a whole problem with how he matured. His whole journey as a whole now works because he's learned the whole story and he learned the final story from Aunt May instead of Uncle Ben. I love that twist. I appreciate it a lot.
It took a loved one dying for him to learn the ultimate lesson, man.
But that's always what happens with Spider-Man. I feel like, but usually it's at the beginning. But yeah,
that's the thing. We hinted at him losing Uncle Ben.
Yeah, I had like 2 points. One was just like, so if she died to teach him that lesson, what's Ben's story in the MCU? Because I swear he's normally like the person who teaches him that lesson.
I feel like in terms of that's what taught him to initially put on the suit and like start helping people. But this one was to like in terms of Aunt May's ultimate lesson, where it's like when you help someone, you help everyone, which is on her grave. I feel like that was to like, even though like it felt like in the moment of like obviously she died, it was like this felt like the wrong decision. No, but she came back and reiterated, no, like you have the power to help people, and even if it doesn't pan out exactly how you want to, at least you can go in there and say you helped them, and like I feel like that comes out, and ultimately he almost lost that, but it took Spider-Man to save Spider-Man in Toby saving him. But like I still feel like it's a very powerful lesson, and I feel like Uncle Ben set him up on the path because he alludes to it in Civil War, where he's like, when bad things happen and you have the power to change something about it, like, and you don't, they happen because of you. Yeah, so like he's learning the lesson, but I don't think it hit him until Aunt May died.
Because he was just too well adjusted before. He just seemed like, he had the friend, he had the girlfriend, he had like a rich sponsor, and everything was handed to him. Like, I was like, why should I care about this guy? Like, where's the gravitas? Or
that was always my problem with this Spider-Man. He was never as grounded as Tobey and Andrew.
But I feel like for me, like obviously, contractual reasons are why that ultimately happens.
Obviously, yeah.
But like in terms of him being a kid in the MCU, and you how they retconned it, where Iron Man in Iron Man 2 saves him, and then ultimately he goes on idolize in Iron Man because that's someone who saved him and that's someone he looks up to. And I think in terms of Iron Man sponsoring him after Civil War, it's like that's a dream come true. And it's like you hear it in Homecoming, it's like I just wanted to be like you. And it's like Iron Man's like, I wanted you to be better. And I feel like at the end of Homecoming, he kind of learns that lesson where it's like he is Spider-Man, but he's still learning what being Spider-Man means when it comes to like ultimately. And I feel like at the end of this movie he's learned what being Spider-Man means.
I agree. I agree. I did feel like the way after the film. I felt like this is the kind of Spider-Man I could see going against like the iconic villains, doing his own stories solo. I feel like I'm hopeful for the future of like Spider-Man going forward in these films.
Yeah, because it's like, I guess like everything people were complaining about, where he's like Iron Boy Jr. and all that. It's like, well, everything's gone now. It's just him.
Literally, bare bones, making his own suit in his apartment, lonely.
Ed, who's your favorite Peter Parker / Spider-Man, or both if it's two different people?
I say Maguire, to be honest. Tobey Maguire is still my favorite Spider-Man. It's just the feeling of nostalgia cannot be replicated with
You
the
know
other
what's
two.
funny? Ali, I was talking to Hannah about her rewatch of Spider-Man, and she said that Toby was weird and creepy, and I kind of agree.
Yeah, like,
maybe in Spider-Man 3 he is a little bit.
Nah, he's creepy.
Like, rewatching it, he comes off really weird.
No.
Like, I like him I like those movies, but he does come off as really weird in those movies. Like, sometimes I'm like, I don't think you're human. Like, he comes off really weird.
But what's he done to be weird, though? Give an example.
Oh, it is.
Just the way he kind of like stares at MJ, sometimes somehow has conversations with her outside, and he's like quoting poetry to her on the phone, leaving her on an answering machine. Like, no, that's not normal. Bro. Name someone who's done that in real life. Not Shakespeare.
I like Toby.
I love Toby. I love Toby. But
Yeah,
I
still like him. I think it's mostly Spider-Man 3, to be fair.
I've rewatched Spider-Man 3 recently, and I can easily rewatch it now. It doesn't traumatize. It didn't traumatize me like it was like scary. It was just like, oh god. Every time I heard that in the past, I was like, oh god, I remember that film. But now I'm just
that
like,
film has been memed to death now.
It's been memed so much that I can't hate it.
The relationship between him and Harry, like, I don't think they're good friends. Like, they want it to play like they're good friends, but I feel like they're not good friends. Like, based on like their interactions in one, he uses Peter's bars against him to get MJ.
Bro, MJ, I told you about this. I'm gonna bring it to the pod. We're talking about Raimi a little bit. MJ literally cheated on everyone that she was in every single film, if you think about it.
Fully.
She moved from different people every single film.
But she always liked Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That was the constant.
I guess for the Harry and Peter friendship, I'm like, if you had your friend's dead dad in your arms, would you not say something like, yo, I didn't kill him, he killed him? Like, say anything, not just like, I'm gonna leave him here on the bed, not say a word and jump out the window and let you stew on it for like a movie and a half. That's your best friend. What?
That is true. In what universe would those two dudes be friends?
Exactly. Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Like, I don't know. I don't think they're friends, because I saw on TikTok where he's like, oh, they had the best friendship. But I'm like, Gwen and Peter are they're amazing best friends, and obviously they're together as well. And like Peter and Ned in the new series, I'm like, I believe their friendship.
Yeah, it works, man. That handshake. Whew.
Yeah, like,
I'll give you that. Peter and Ned's friendship it seems so genuine for sure.
Yeah. When they're that scene where they're all like hugging him after he loses May. I'm not gonna lie, that bit was sad, man.
That's a wallpaper as well.
True, man.
I don't know why, but the May death didn't hit me.
You know, bro, they made us think she was fine. I thought she was down as soon as she got hit by that glider. And then she was like, nah, it's nothing.
The way she kept going, I was like, she's gonna die. Like, the whole time, because I went sitting next to Charles, I was sitting next to Shaq. I'm like, she's about to die. Like,
I was like, nah, she's okay. She's walking. She's fine.
Yeah, like, because she was just acting odd, so I was just waiting for it, and it was like, I could feel that, like, I guess it did hit me more than you, because I feel like in terms of May and the new series, it's like, I feel like she's been a bit underutilized, and we got robbed of a moment where at the end of Homecoming, she finds out Peter's Spider-Man, and we got robbed of that moment of like, we've never seen Aunt May find out in like a movie, so it's like, I wanted to see what that reaction would be, and they kind of hint at it here, but kind of like it hit me like, and I don't know if it's because I guess Aunt May in terms of, I got so much experience with Aunt May in terms of the animated shows, the movies, the games, some comics, and it's like, but that definitely hit where it was like, I believe this Aunt May like completely backed Pete. Like she found out he was Spider-Man. It would have been a shock to her, but ultimately, like she believes in her nephew and she believes in helping people, and ultimately, that's what Spider-Man to her was about. So when he's ultimately about to like almost regret his choice, she's like, nope. With great power comes great responsibility with that line, but it was enforced by the fact, obviously, like you made a bad, like it's not a bad choice. You willingly you help people. That's what you do, and that's ultimately what was on her tombstone. Like when you help someone, you help everyone. So it was like, it definitely for me that was like I almost cried.
Damn. Well, I was kind of the opposite. I'm sorry.
I'm with you, Ed. I'm with you. I was like, I didn't.
A whole process.
I just feel like we didn't know her. We didn't see enough of her. Well, this is again. I mean, obviously, Jamal, you had a very different experience, but I was like, just saw her as the actress Marisa Tomei, and I didn't really warm to her as the character.
I feel like she had the most to do in this specific movie, so I do get that, and I feel like I am taking like my experiences of my Aunt May in other mediums into this one. I think the one that really hits home is like, I don't know if you've ever played the PS4 Spider-Man game or just seen the end of that game, but that really hits.
Yo, May used to be safe. I just want to say that May used to be safe.
Yeah,
except for the comics, she used to be safe. Now everyone's killing that May.
That's true. Like in the past couple of years, I've seen her die like twice.
Back in my day, May used to be safe.
Do you remember the Green Goblin burst into a room while she was praying and he said,
"Finish it! And deliver us
from evil!"
I don't know. It definitely hit. I didn't want her to die, and she died, and it hit me.
And now he has no one.
Yeah.
No one. Damn.
By the way, speaking of Goblin, why does he always give Peter? He always just beats the living snot out of Spider-Man, man.
Okay, that fight's one of the best fight sequences I've seen in the MCU. I'm not gonna lie.
When he was just poleaxing him through the floors.
Yes,
there was a power bomb. There was a spine buster. Peter did the move where he like slammed him down with his feet. That was from the game. It was just like, oh my gosh, this was brutal.
Willem Dafoe gave me such Joker vibes in this one.
It was when he was getting punched and he was just smiling, like he was just eating the punch. It
reminded me of the interrogation scene from The Dark Knight.
Yeah, fully.
Yeah, because he kept laughing. He was like,
man, that look Willem Dafoe does with the grin, it's creepy as hell, man.
And his voice was weird as well. It's like,
I feel like that's what was really kind of missing from the Raimi ones, because he was always full costumed. You never got that.
Yeah,
because the mask don't emote in it, so it's like,
I love how they literally addressed that. They just smashed the mask.
You know what's cool about that is it's a reflection of Spider-Man 2, where like he throws the Spider-Man suit in the bin, and then you have the Goblin head on the bin, and he runs away from it after he smashes it. It's like,
in the alleyway.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, in the alleyway.
I'm like, what else was in this film? We've covered a lot of ground. I did love this scene. Just when they were like laughing and joking, I think it was Patton Oswalt who said that there's this thing that Marvel does, and they call in a room full of just the top comedians of the day, and they basically are like, sign this NDA, and they'll just like chat and crack jokes, and then they shake someone's hand, and they get paid a check at the end, and then someone at Marvel like writes down all of the funniest jokes and puts it in the movie. I was like, they definitely did that for this. Like when they're talking about like my mid back, and all of that stuff. I was like, a room full of comedians wrote this.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, the web shooter thing.
So much.
Yeah.
I love that scene so much. Just the spider banter. I really felt like that was out of a panel. Like that whole interaction just felt
that
so
stuff
natural.
where it's like, you're amazing as well. It's like, bro, that's so on the nose, but yeah.
I loved the my back callback. That got me cracking up. Oh, it's just my back is really tired from web swinging.
There's one bit I did feel like they overdid there when he said, "You don't have the Avengers? What are the Avengers? Are you in a band? Is that a band?" I was like,
we've heard the band thing.
That.
I feel like that was a callback to Endgame, or no, Infinity War, when Bruce was like, "Oh, the Avengers broke up like a band, like the Beatles." It was that.
Yeah, I was like, we've seen this one before. Next.
Yeah.
Okay, what was your hypest moment in this entire film?
Literally right after they said the Avengers bit, where they're like, you know what, we need to team up, and they did the run, and then the three Spider-Man were like, they did this thing, and they were spinning off each other, and then they did the action shot, and they did the pose. I'm like, that's the money shot.
Yeah, I agree. That was
same.
I saw that bit. I had goosebumps.
Literal.
That's gonna be on the trailer for the DVD. Like
100. Oh man, I want to watch that scene over and over again on YouTube.
You just know how pissed they are because of the narrative. They couldn't put that as the movie poster. You just know how pissed they did. They just wanted to use that.
Could be on the DVD.
Yeah, the Blu-ray or something. Yeah.
Well, that's
but another thing that's really hyped for me is I really like the score of this movie. It took going back a couple times because generally couldn't hear it in the first one, but I really love Andrew comes through and then you hear his score, you hear the Amazing Spider-Man theme. Toby comes through, you hear the Spider-Man, the Raimi trilogy theme, and then when Andrew saves Electro, you hear it again. When Peter saves Sandman and then he speaks to Octavius, you hear it again. I really liked the use of music. I really liked how epic the Tom Holland theme felt in this movie. It felt much more than it's ever felt in any of the other movies. So,
yeah, because in the previous ones it was kind of peppy and it was high schooly and but this one it was a bit more mature.
They did cool fusions where they mixed it with the Doctor Strange theme as well, where they kind of mixed it with that, and then with the how they incorporated it with the Raimi and the Amazing Spider-Man music. It was just it just felt epic, and then at the moments where it needed to, it felt very somber. It was just epic. I feel like the music definitely is really good.
Nice, man. Ali?
My favorite moment?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it was the trio. It was the money shot. But also, obviously, when Andrew Garfield first came through the portal. Yeah. And I thought, what a time to be alive.
Right.
I feel like everything he did in this movie was just amazing. Even from when he just first comes through and it's just the banter between everyone, where it's oh, prove your Spider-Man, starts throwing bread at him. It's just...
Get that cobweb.
One minor thing. Why was Ned's grandma so unfazed by all of this? She just kept complaining about webs.
This is a post-Endgame world, man.
I feel like once you learn your grandson's best friend is Spider-Man, everything is just well, I gotta deal with this now.
There's literally a portal in her living room.
Yeah, but she's magic's in the family, isn't it?
Exactly. Oh, she's seen it all, that lady.
You don't know what she's seen. That's I don't know. Once half the universe disappears, I feel nothing will really faze you.
You know what? I've complained about this before in the MCU in general, where it's gotten to a stage where there's not much wonder and awe anymore. It's just, oh, a portal, seen it. Oh, a guy who can fly. Oh, he shoots webs. Seen it. There's nothing that can faze anyone in this universe anymore. And, well, I guess that's it's quite real to the comic books, but yeah, there's just no more wonder.
That's true, because even in the Eternals, when that giant guy came, I don't feel like anyone was fazed. And that was that guy is bigger than the Earth.
Literally. There's no wonder at all. No one's surprised by anything anymore. And we still haven't got the Fantastic Four or X-Men to come yet. So everyone's going to be
Thanos, blame Thanos.
Imagine it. We've had Eternals, Thanos, mutants. No, we're against mutants.
That's what I'm saying. That's J. Jonah Jameson, where he's just I don't get why he's so against Spider-Man when all these other heroes
That is one thing.
Like, what's his opinion of Brothers the musical? Like, I want to see that.
That is actually a really good point. In this universe, as much as I love him, as much as I love, Jameson, the character, it doesn't make sense in this universe.
Yeah, it's just like, that's mad hate for this one guy who's barely done anything.
You literally have Thanos, Loki, actual villains who have told you they're actual villains.
Like, legit, Spider-Man's done 2 grand things in this universe. Like, granted, like, it looks like he murdered someone, but still, like, he fought Thanos.
Honestly, man, yeah, it doesn't make sense in this universe. I've come to realize.
And he's like 50 years older than everyone. It's like, pick on someone your own size.
Jeez, man.
Did you guys catch in the portals at the end the like different characters you were coming through?
I only saw the Scorpion because of this tail.
So I saw Craven, Black Hat, Scorpion, Rhino. There's someone else who just looks like a dude, so it could have been anyone.
Oh, the Rhino joke was funny.
Oh yeah, I had to find a guy in a rhino suit, a Russian guy in a rhino suit. So you're not lame, you're amazing.
Yeah.
The webbing part. Oh my gosh, I love that banter part as well.
Yeah, there was. Do you remember in Family Guy that Family Guy joke where it was a cutaway where Spider-Man was in bed with a girl and
oh god,
so they kind of carried on that joke, saying, "Does it just come out of your wrists or anywhere else?"
I was actually thinking like Spider kind of comes out of like the rear end or something.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking dirty with that. I was thinking, oh, does he poop it out? Is that what they're implying? But yeah, I guess it could have been dirty.
What was your hypest moment, Nana?
Oh, it's definitely the 3 Spider-Men for sure.
I love how we all had the same one. I was going to say the same thing.
And I just had goosebumps, man. When I was watching that, I was just like, yeah.
Because, like, throughout watching it, because I wasn't sitting next to you, Charles, you didn't get me, like, I was literally grabbing Shaq and shaking him, like, they're all here! I can't believe they're all here! For a good, like, I don't know, for the last, like, half hour.
Bro, I didn't even realize I was still smiling until the credits. My face was still in, like, smiling face. So I was like, this is amazing.
Because, me and Charles came out of that movie, like, you went to the toilet, so we were outside waiting. I see him, and me and him have the same reaction. You know how, like, at the beginning of the movie when Ned and Peter are just talking to each other on the phone, it's like, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was me and Charles. We were just like, bro. Oh, it was just like, I came out of that movie, especially with the crowd and the energy, like, it was just like special.
It was a guy that's close to Spider-Man.
Yeah, there was a few.
Jeez. Dedication.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I had one more gripe. Maybe you guys can enlighten me.
Cool.
They never really explained why they got teleported just before their deaths or whilst they were fighting Spider-Man, because a big example is Dr. Octopus, Doc Ock. He died, and just before he died, he became good.
Yeah.
So surely, when he got teleported through, he should have been a good guy already.
I think he got teleported mid-fight because that's how he described it. He was choking him, and then he came through.
So they all got teleported mid-fight before dying at different points in time.
Except Sandman, I don't know when he would have. Or Lizard, I don't know when he would have.
They both just washed up on a shore somewhere.
Yeah, but let's throw him in too. We can make it Sinister 5. That's one thing that bugged me about this. It wasn't Sinister 6. It was Sinister 5.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't Sinister 6 at all. Like it didn't. It was. They weren't a team. They were just like they all had different agendas for fighting. It was like, even though that's kind of like Sinister 6, it never felt like there was a uniform.
Oh yeah,
like,
there was
no leader. So I feel like they could still do a Sinister 6 movie, and it could be different. But this felt like everyone had their own purpose. Like Electro he likes the new element that he discovered with the Stark. What do you call that thing?
Oh, the arc reactor.
Yeah, the arc reactor, because obviously Tony invented a new element with that. So he's like, yeah, he likes the power. So he just wanted to live there and enjoy the power. Like,
yo, Sandman and Jamie Foxx. I say Sandman and Jamie Foxx. Sandman and Electro was like, I feel like they had more camaraderie than any of the other people there.
Because they both fell into things.
Yeah. Because they both fell into things. I love that.
This is what confused me even more, because Sandman, he came back, he teleported there as a good guy. He said,
yeah,
Peter, do you remember me? And he was helping him.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Dr. Octopus came back evil. And I'm like, what's going on? It's so inconsistent.
I feel like all of them just came through at the end points of their movies, but specifically the villains, like in terms of Green Goblin and Octopus and Electro, they all came back like mid-fight. But the other ones, I don't know. I don't know when Lizard will come back, but like, because it could have been any point in that fight, because he was on beef the whole fight with Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah, like Lizard at the end of his fight, he got transformed back into a human. So it just felt like, let's just bring everyone who's going to sign the contract back and let's make them their villains for no reason. That's it.
Yeah.
There was no logic to it, but yeah, that's the gripe, I guess.
I hear you, but it got us a cool Doc Ock fight at the beginning, and it got us a couple cool Green Goblin fights, and the money shot with obviously that got taken out of the trailer with the invisible kick.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, speaking of things that were in the trailer but not in the movie, a minor line. I don't know if you guys noticed.
Wong,
yeah.
Yeah, Wong. Don't cast that spell. It's like, I won't.
I feel like it's better in the movie just because like that how Doctor Strange was acting in the trailer made people think he was a completely different person, and were like, yeah. I feel like it made sense more in the movie where he's like, yeah, there's no like wink or like stuff. It just felt like, okay, cool. I like you, Peter, so I'm gonna help you out.
He was so irresponsible in this film. I'll be honest. Like, you really didn't. How did he think of calling up the uni or the college after setting a spell that he tried to pin it on Peter as well? He said, "Wait, you didn't check whether you could appeal?"
You know what he should have done? Yeah, like probably would have resolved everything, because before he casts the spell, he just explains what's about to happen. So then Peter's like, all right, cool, I get the spell. What I need you to do is make sure these people remember.
Oh yeah, that is true. Also, I think I sent it to you, Charles, that meme where instead of Peter asking Strange to make everyone who knows he's Peter Parker forget all of that, why not just cast that on Mysterio? Just make everyone forget Mysterio. Problem solved. End of movie.
What if they still like remember like Peter Parker's Spider-Man?
Nah, that's a good point.
Yeah, because it doesn't erase him from. It doesn't erase his impact.
It'll erase him. It'll be like, oh, who said that again? But they'll know it. So he's still Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And also, how exactly is the spell at the end work? So Peter Parker never existed. Period. Is that?
Nah, it's just everyone who knows who Peter Parker. Everyone basically forgot Peter Parker. So they know Spider-Man exists. So everyone knows Spider-Man, but no one knows Peter Parker. So it's basically like he's just like forgotten. That's why at the end he has to go back and study for his GED instead of having all the qualifications Peter Parker would have had.
I see. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
What did you all think of the after credits scenes?
Ooh. I'm so happy that Venom's not in the MCU.
That was the biggest tease ever, wasn't it? From the end of Venom 2, the post-credit scenes we saw there, and then it's like, let me just take a snip of that symbiote off you. Now go and sling your rook back to your universe.
He was literally just like, I'm here. No, I'm not.
I want the evil black suit Spider-Man. I want a villain Venom, and I feel like the Venom we have wouldn't fight Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's an anti-hero kind of. Yeah, he wouldn't be evil.
He wouldn't, man.
Yeah.
So I feel like we could get a variant Tom Hardy in the MCU and have that Venom fight.
I would pay to see that.
I'm interested.
Possibly. And I like the Doctor Strange trailer a lot, for sure.
You need to watch What If, though. Or not,
yeah.
Probably should know about What If before you watch that.
Oh, to see the evil Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Supreme Strange, yeah.
Yep.
Because, I literally was like, to my sister, yeah, you gotta watch What If. So she binged it. And she's like, it was just for a second, but I'm like, yeah, but you know, you gotta be up to date on everything. Like, this movie makes more sense if you've seen Loki. Like, it just does. It explains variants. It just explains stuff where it's just like, okay, cool. You're kind of in this place to like, I get every Peter Parker is just a variant of another Peter Parker. Like, I get.
Going back to like the Venom cutscene, this intrigues me a lot because I think they could possibly do a very dark storyline for Peter Parker.
Yeah, because he's not in a good spot right now.
Yeah, he's by himself. He's isolated. He's got no one around him. Then all of a sudden, this symbiote comes by his window, taps on the window, says, "Hey, let me touch you." And then before you know it, he goes back to
hey, let me touch you. What he starts acting like Billy Elliot, like just doing the dances from
Bully Maguire.
Every time I rewatch that dancing clip on YouTube, I'm just I'm sorry, why?
I'm gonna throw some dirt in your eye.
Billy Maguire.
Just iconic.
Right. I'm gonna ask a question. Whoever goes first, sorry, but whoever goes last, you got time to think about it. In the great rankings of the MCU, where does this film come for you guys? I guess, okay, I'll start to give you guys some time to think about it.
Like MCU or just Spider-Man or both?
I want to do Spider-Man, to be honest. I prefer doing this
Spider-Man, as in including Maguire's films and whatnot.
Exactly.
Okay, all right, I'll do that.
Because then I feel like it's easy.
All right, I'd say the only film better than this out of all the Spider-Man films
is Spider-Verse.
Spider-Man 2. Oh, sorry. Ooh. Okay, no, sorry. 2 films better than this.
No, you said what you said.
I didn't know you were including the Spider-Man. I thought you just the live-action ones.
No, I want Spider-Verse in there too. Let's do it all time.
All right, then Spider-Verse is number 1. Spider-Man 2 is number 2. And then No Way Home.
Okay.
I guess I rank Homecoming higher than you, but I'd rank this first for me. I think Spider-Verse is really good and it introduces me to Miles, and I love that movie. I love it a lot. But I feel like in terms of this is my childhood. This is my present right now. And I'm like, just seeing Tobey Maguire one more time as Spider-Man, big grin. Seeing Andrew Garfield get to do it again, big grin. Seeing Tom Holland come into his element and really become his own as Spider-Man. I don't know what more I could ask for in a Spider-Man movie. Like, this is like people say, 3 generations of Spider-Man. This is 20 years in the making. I don't think the only thing that could come close to this is, I don't even know if anything can, like, what, Days of Future Past? And that doesn't match this.
Nah, I agree.
So I'm like, this is like an epic thing that like literally can't be recreated. The only thing that could possibly do it is Spider-Verse 2 if they all come back for that.
Ooh.
That would be too much, man. My head would explode. I'll just be like, nah, you've done too much now.
Like, if they all did that for Spider-Verse, I'm like, yeah, that wins. But right now, I'm like, in terms of Spider-Man, like, yeah. Right now, just in terms of how I feel, obviously this movie is, right now, maybe because it's just the freshest, but like, I've seen it 3 times. I could watch this movie right now. I watched it today. I could watch this movie again right now.
Damn, man.
So you think it's better than Spider-Man 2? Maguire's film?
Ooh, I rate Spider-Verse higher than Spider-Man 2, and I'm not gonna lie, I rate Homecoming very high. So I think if I went down, like, I'd put this top, Spider-Verse, Spider-Man 2, Homecoming, and then whatever else behind that. I'm not gonna think about it, but yeah, somewhere like that. And I think that order could easily change based on what I watch. Like, but right now I feel like, I don't know if this is just because it's the new, but like, I love this movie right now. I love it. Like, everything about it. Even with my gripes, I would still say favorite Spider-Man movie. I would still say, if you have any interest in Spider-Man, like, this is a must watch. Like, nothing can take that away from it. And I think, yeah, just like, it's between this and Spider-Verse for me. And right now, yeah, this is winning.
I
All right.
see. Is everyone, by the way, are we all in agreement that the worst Spider-Man film is, unfortunately, The Amazing Spider-Man 2?
I was literally going to say that's still my number one.
Holy moly, Ali.
Oh gosh. Oh Lord, let's go.
I love that movie. I love that movie. I love the Electro story. Oh, the Times Square, the Electro fight. I love the Emma Stone, Andrew Garfield. Like, when Gwen dies, it's so emotional. I think Dane DeHaan.
Anytime Peter's like, yo, I'm gonna leave the New York, someone about to die.
So
Like in that, he was gonna go London. I'm like, yeah, you're not leaving New York. And they're still gonna go Boston. You're not leaving New York.
that movie for me. Can't beat it. I mean, unpopular opinion, I know, but that would be my number one. And
Goodness
then
me, I did not expect that at all, but
I like
that's the
that. Though.
subjectivity of film.
Yeah, I like Amazing Spider-Man, the first one, more than the second one. But yeah, I hate you.
if the lizard hadn't been in Amazing Spider-Man 1, that would be my number one. But the lizard, unfortunately, was a weak point no one can deny.
To be fair, like you said, there are a lot of great scenes in Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Like, there's one scene I really like is when Peter Parker helps that kid.
I like the intro of the movie where he's just falling.
Yeah,
so
that's
cool.
iconic. I actually felt like I was swinging with it. No, I didn't feel like I was really swinging, but the camera work was really good on that one. Yeah, when he helps the little science. I just like that because that's kind of
right.
Spider-Man.
So, Ali, where do you rank No Way Home then in the grand hierarchy of Spider-Man films?
I don't know if it's in my top 5. I mean, so I've got Amazing Spider-Man
5.
2, then
Wow.
probably Spider-Man number 1, Tobey Maguire, then probably Spider-Verse, then probably Amazing Spider-Man 1, and then maybe I'll put it 5th. There we go.
Wow.
Okay.
No disrespect, I just love the other ones so much.
Okay.
I like that.
And Ed?
Yep, you go. I'm good. I need to think a bit more.
Oh no, I said mine.
Oh,
already.
you said yours.
For me, mine is Multiverse, then Spider-Man 2. Currently, it's No Way Home, number 3, but I feel like there might be some recency bias in there. So for now, it's a provisional answer.
Yeah, that's the same with me. I feel like there is a lot of recency bias, but it's that same. I love it, and I'm like, there's only a few movies where I'm like, yo, I could keep watching this, and like, it doesn't happen very often for me.
It's true. Okay, I say Spider-Verse is still my number 1 favorite Spider-Man film.
Hey.
Spider-Man 2, second favorite film.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, The Amazing Spider-Man. Actually gets that.
The Amazing Spider-Man.
I just like it as a different kind of origin story. Plus, it does show someone who actually liked the character he was playing in a different way than Tobey Maguire did, I think. It was just different energy, I think. It was the attempt to try and do something a bit different. So I like it for that. And then I'll go No Way Home.
Let's see. Nice. So what's your bottom film then?
My bottom film? I don't want to. Do you really want me to say it out loud? Ali's right here.
I'd still give it to Spider-Man 3.
I can rewatch Spider-Man 3.
I could in terms of Spider-Man, he's my favorite hero. I could watch any of the movies. Like it doesn't really matter in terms of like favorite though. Like yeah. But like I could still watch any of them. Like I still like really enjoy them. So I'm like I do like Andrew Garfield. Like in terms of I guess if I went one under my Homecoming, it would be Amazing Spider-Man 1. But yeah, yeah, I do enjoy his performance, and I feel like he really, in terms of the moments he's in this movie, he does really steal the show.
You know, one thing this movie made me realize just how the short amount of time in which the Spider-Man character has been rebooted with different actors, because you managed to have all 3 of them in fairly decent shape, and none of them even look too old or anything. So that's from all the way from 2002 till now. It's been rebooted 3 times, which is actually a lot for a franchise.
It's true.
That must be the most. Has any other
Batman?
Oh yeah.
Batman's been done a few times, bro.
Oh yeah, it has.
No, I guess James Bond, but yeah, it wasn't in a short space of time. Batman a lot in the 90s. What was that? Val Kilmer, thingy,
George Clooney,
and Vulture. What's his name?
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, dude.
I don't know. I just lost it.
I love Keaton as Vulture, man. I'll never forget that scene in
the car
in Homecoming. That was the best scene in the film.
Chilling.
Nah, yeah, definitely. It was the lights in it. It was the red light. He's not knowing. When it turns green, he's like. Then he just clocks. He's like, I know exactly who you are.
That look on his face, man.
That's the ending. Have a good time with my daughter. Not a good time, though. Not too good, though. All right, there's one thing I just want to mention, and then I'm going to stop talking about this film because we've been going for a while, guys, but it's been great. There was one thing I was concerned about after watching this film that I thought would mess up my ranking of Spider-Man films. It's the amount of fan service, and I say that only because it's been done right as opposed to being done very wrong. Because I feel like it served a purpose in every scene we saw fan service.
Mm-hmm.
Like when Peter and when Toby and Andrew show up and they have their scenes with him, it's not hollow. They're being themselves. They're not there just to do one single thing like fight at the last moment for a few clips. They actually were pretty good characters in themselves, like supporting. They helped him get over what his recent trauma. I was like, they really felt good. It was done well.
Yeah, I guess like the fan service that's in the movie, I guess feels like it fits the movie. And I guess there's levels to the fan service where it's the surface level where anyone can get it, but then it's the deeper level where like you see, or even though I think anyone would get this too, where Andrew Garfield saves Zendaya, and that moment afterwards where it's like, "Are you okay?" And then Zendaya just asks the same question back, and it's just like the look on his face is just like. He got his redemption, but it was just like it was that heartbreaking moment too.
Exactly.
But then there's like the other levels of the fan service where it's just like Toby meeting Doc Ock again, and they just literally just repeat the same lines. Where it's just like,
you know what it is when he says "my boy." That's how you know he's the good Dr. Ock. I really watched it on rewatch again. When he says,
and then it's like, how are you? And it's just like trying to do better. And that's literally the same words he said when they first met. And it's just like, if you didn't really like watch the Spider-Man 2 over and over and over, you might not catch that. But it's just like that fan service, I can't. Or like Green Goblin, I'm something of a scientist myself. Or like them little bits, or just the
power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
I feel like that was done too much, but yeah.
You know which one I thought they did again? They did it in Thor Ragnarok with Loki when he got trapped in like that thing for 30 minutes. They did the same thing with Doctor Strange. I've been dangling over the Grand Canyon for 12 hours.
They did.
But that's what saved it, because I did feel at the beginning, I was like, oh, this is just a string of gimmicks. You know, with even the Daredevil bit, I was like, yeah, ha, ha, ha. You know, there was no substance to the kind of just like, oh, that's a reference. And I was like, oh, no, how am I going to sit and talk to Charles about the fact that I hated this movie? But then it had that depth to it and it did deliver.
I thought that too. And I literally thought that too. Don't worry, I thought the same thing. But then the film went on.
Because I guess for the Daredevil bit, it's just like, he needs a lawyer. Who else was he really going to get?
That's
true. That's true.
Foggy.
Oh, right.
Foggy. Could you imagine it was Foggy?
No, oh my goodness.
He wasn't available.
It wouldn't hit the same.
That would be like Ralph Boner from WandaVision. You give a fuck if you want Daredevil.
The funny thing is, Jon Favreau, who plays Happy Hogan, played Foggy in the Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Jon Favreau, man, he's been cruising since he directed Iron Man 1. He's just like, let me put myself in the movie. Now I'm in all the movies.
I saw something where apparently he was meant to be killed off in Iron Man 3, but he asked Kevin Feige, hey man, don't do that.
I'm the godfather of this thing. Don't do that to me.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to die in that movie. It's fine.
Okay,
we could talk about this film for ages. But...
Have anyone got any other points?
Just that I look forward to coming on here after we've all seen Morbius and can tear it to pieces.
Game, let's do this.
I'm down for it. That's funny.
No hope in Morbius. Wow,
that film is not safe.
I don't understand it. I don't understand its place in the universe. I'm curious to find out.
Just erase the Jared Leto Joker from your minds. Give him a fresh slate.
No, I saw him in House of Gucci.
All right, fair enough.
So is this the part where we rank it? Yeah,
indeed.
Because like I'm saying, yeah, for in terms of your ranking, I'm like, go to the cinema day one. Obviously, you can't anymore if you haven't, but go to the cinema. Go watch this movie. Watch this as many times as you can. That's my opinion. But yeah, I've seen it 3 times. I don't know how many times I'll net out, but like...
Man said he's seen it 3 times and currently working on a 4th.
Easily.
I'd watch it on the streaming service again. I wouldn't go cinema for it again, but streaming service for sure. Disney Plus that.
I have Limitless, so I feel like it's the same thing.
Oh yeah, same.
I would watch this. I'd watch this at home because I feel like if I watch it in the cinema, I'm always going to be thinking about day one. And if my audience isn't great, it kind of ruins it a little bit, and I can hype myself up at home.
Exactly.
I can be my own audience for that film, I swear.
I hear you. This is like, for me, I guess I can get lost in the movie without the audience, but definitely that day one experience was magic.
Magic. And Ali, it doesn't sound like you would. It doesn't sound like you go back to the cinema for this one.
Yeah, I'm kind of straddling. I'd do the streaming for the second viewing. I'm really glad that I saw it in the big screen and got that reaction. But yeah, streaming for the second view, comfort at home, sounds good.
Slap them subtitles on.
I mean, if I could, if they had it in 4K at home, I'd be watching it now. But yeah, they don't.
Not yet.
So for the moment, like while it's in cinemas, I'll be at the cinemas watching it. I don't think I'll watch it again this week, but probably next week.
Damn. All right, guys. It's been fun. We could all talk about this for like another hour, but we tried to put our main points in there. So yeah, man, it's great to have you guys on. Morbius, perhaps the next one.
So much fun.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I lost my voice this weekend, so I've been dying to talk about this movie. So yeah, thank you for letting me like vent.
It was needed, man. It was needed. But all that being said, until next time, we are out.
See?